sing, let 'em come, let 'em come, let 'em come. Let 'em all come down to the ground. Let 'em come, let 'em come, let 'em come. We'll only have to beat 'em again. It's the best team in London, no, the best team of all. Everybody knows us, we call Millwall. Let 'em come, let 'em come, let 'em come. Let 'em all come down to the dance. It's Saturday, Congo Lane, we've all come down to cheer. We've had our jelly deals and our glass of beer. Come rain or shine all the time, our families will bring. And as the Lions run on the pitch, everyone will sing. Let 'em come, let 'em come, let 'em come. Let 'em all come down to the ground. Let 'em come, let 'em come, let 'em come. We'll only have to beat 'em again. It's the best team in London, no, the best team in the world. Everybody knows us, we call Millwall. Let 'em come, let 'em come, let 'em come. Let 'em all come down to the dance. Let 'em all come down to the dance.
Feels like we haven't done that for absolutely ages, isn't it? It's only been a couple of weeks. How we doing, chaps?
Yeah, all good, man.
Evening all.
Good. Yeah, evening. It's been a while. For the end of season review. Today I said in the group, let's make sure we absolutely all get on for about 20 to 8 so we don't turn on like an absolute shit show at the start of the show. But it's just ain't happening, is it? We just
It never does. We just got to accept it, haven't we?
Just roll the punches. It's which I'm trying to be Joe Edwards, but I ain't got the players to do it, basically. How you doing, Pete? You right, mate?
All good, Dan. All good.
Oh, good. Right, this could be a long one. Teddy, good evening, mate, and thank you earlier as well for your help. I called him my researcher. It's a little private bromance joke. When the club released their retain list, they didn't actually put a list out. They just put out who'd gone. We'll get into this anyway. And I've had to make my own graphic of everyone that's still there. And I've looked and I'm thinking, I think that's it. I've sent it to Teddy and went, just check this for me because I know you'll get it. He went, yeah, I think that's it. Then about 2 minutes later, I get a text, Zian Flemming. And I was like, oh, fuck, It says what sort of season he's had. I forgot he was even there. And then I got another 2 messages. One said Adam Mayer and the other one said Duncan Moore. Yeah. But I swear.
Easily forgot about.
Well, I said to him as well, I'm hoping that I have got it wrong because we look like we are down to the bare bones. Cole Bracey, good evening. Michael Heisman, Faded Govar, I hope you and your dad are well. Harry, and Julie, even though she doesn't watch. Millwall Tube, how you doing? I'm follow his channel if you haven't already. Does the business.
Good evening.
The Choke Meister, how are you, mate? Jakey, a few members on board. If you're looking to comment, Mick Robinson's another one. And you can't, it's because you haven't subscribed. You have to subscribe as a bare minimum to our YouTube channel to comment these days. There is a lot to get through, chaps, unsurprisingly, because the season has finished and it's been a fucking, I was going to say, whirlwind start, but the pre-season ain't even started yet, is it?
Feels like ages ago now the season ended.
Oh, no.
It's been nearly 3 weeks, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not even on my yacht yet.
Hey, I know.
I'm not on my yacht yet.
I've been and come back, mate. The tan's fading already after the fucking weather I've come back to. Jesus Christ. But, plenty to get into, boys. We'll start at the beginning or the end, and that is taking a look at the final league table. I mean, can you believe we finished 4 points only off the top 10?
I know.
And 9 clear of the relegation zone. Rotherham are at the bottom of the screen. You can't see it because of the graphic that's running. Unbelievable, boys, isn't it? The finish, the last sort of quarter of the season.
Yeah. I look to that, Dan. I'll roll back that period with the Leeds, the Swansea, the Leeds, the Huddersfield, and the Rotherham game, and then we had lined up was Leicester. So I worked that out. I think there was West Brom was a point, wasn't it? So you had nothing against Leeds, nothing against Rotherham, nothing against Huddersfield, point against West Brom, and then we was playing Leicester. And we was all sort of in our own minds thinking that's a bang on defeat. So that would have actually worked out 1 point out of 15. And you'd have thought we're bang in trouble. back in trouble. And then, hey-oh, bipolar Millwall go and beat Leicester. Evening, Ken. And
Good evening, gentlemen.
Kenny's in. I said, Ken, I said in the group earlier, we're trying to get, said, can we all try and get on early? I said, I'm not, but it just never happened. I said, I'm not Joe Edwards trying to play with players I ain't got, am I? We're just talking, Ken, about, not that yet. What a crazy league this is and how well we did for the back end of the season. We're finishing just 4 points off the top 10. What was all the panic about?
Well, I was doing some serious panicking.
No, I am.
Yeah, I don't know. I felt like when Neil Harris came in, looked like there was a calmness between us all anyway. I don't know whether that was because we thought, we had this great vision that he was going to do what he's done, or whether we thought, well, if we're going to go down, at least we're going to go down with Harris and we're going to be in League One. But yeah, I don't think anyone. I thought that we might just scrape out of it. I didn't think we'd end up being near on mid-table by the end of it. That's for sure.
No, and the reason we did, we know, is this man. Joe, look at that. Championship table since Neil Harris was appointed. 6 in the table, 11 played, 6 won, 2 drawn, 3 lost. I mean, that's top draw, that, isn't it? Considering Leeds, Norwich, and Ipswich are all up there as well. QPR done all right as well towards the back end, picked up. But what I want to ask you, boys, is Neil Harris, despite what he's done again this time, he's still got his critics. And people saying they're bored of Harris hoofball. But I think, and he said this when he came back, he said, I've learned, even though I've been at lower league sides, I've learned a lot more. And I think, in my own personal opinion, under Harris, I think we play a little bit at the right times, but we do draw teams into a battle, which we know we're good at. But I've never find it boring, even though we are more direct. Joe Edwards tried to play too much with the wrong players, arguably, and Rowett played very defensively and would pass it around the back forever before Cooper would ship a long diag out of play with the old Adidas crowd finders. But I think I found it, despite us winning a lot of games, I found it exciting under Harris this time. I feel he's come back a better manager. Joe, do you think that he's learned while he's been away at other clubs? And did you see a difference from the last time he was?
Yeah. Do you know what? When he first come in and he said he talked all that, said he's a different manager, he's learnt more. I didn't really buy into it all, to be honest, and sort of believe the hype. But now at the end of the season, I do think he has come back as a better manager. And people say about the Harris hoofball, I might have said it myself when he first come back, but I don't think we did actually see a lot of that. And
I don't. No.
Credit where credit's due, it's been a masterstroke, as much as I was saying the opposite when he first come in, but I hold my hands up. You know what comes next. But yeah, as you said, he really brought a sort of spark back to the team and just everything back at the den. It has been exciting, to be fair, and it's just brought back a real positive feeling around the place.
I mean, Pete, so the fact he's done that by making absolutely zero signings as well and taking a team that was so low on confidence is unbelievable, really, isn't it?
100%, Dan. But I think what he done. Listen, when Rowett went, we was all crying out. I mean, I was first to say that we have to evolve. We have to evolve and things like that. And in come Joe Edwards, the pretty football that never works, and it brought us in that relegation battle. In come Neil Harris and went back to basics. Right, what we were probably really good at. We ain't good at playing out the back. We're good at defending and mixing it with teams and things like that. And he just brought us back to basics. The Millwall-ness, as some people call it. Some people sing that we got our Millwall back. And he just brought that togetherness with a squad, and went back the old huff and puff. And I think I agree there that there wasn't much of the long ball. And I agree also that I think he has come back as a better manager, even though, as some people look at it, he might be a failed manager at Gillingham and like you're being sacked or things like that.
He done all right, Jules, didn't he? They got rid of him when they probably shouldn't have done.
Yeah, but he's listen. Let's be honest. When he was appointed, I don't think anyone I knew he was happy with that appointment, you know. But as it's turned out to be a masterstroke. And what he's done, you can only, you know, like take your hat off to Neil. He done an absolutely fantastic job. I had my doubts that after the Rotherham when we lost out and Leicester was coming up, because I was working out that would be 1 point out of 15. But the turning point was the Leicester game. And after that, there was no looking back. You could see, I think I looked at that Leicester game, or even the Leeds game, certainly, that you could see there was something there to work with. And he just, listen, he got the best out of every single player out of that team.
That's what I was going to say. He knew how to play a certain way to get the best out of the players we had there, which was unlike Joe Edwards, which is trying to play a certain way when the players can't do that. And that's exactly what he done. Went back to basics. He seems to know all the players' strengths and played to that. Yeah,
and I think, Ken, you'll agree with me as well. Like, you used to say it all the time, why would you try and put square pegs in round holes? Like Jody said, he simplified it. He went back to basics, and not just tactics-wise, but with the players. He started playing people, you know, in positions. I know Danny Mack fielding at left back, but he made Danny Mack an out-and-out fullback again instead of being a wing-back, which he can't do because he can't get the service in the box.
And he actually done all right in that position, didn't he, Danny Mack?
Oh, well, I think half the reason why Danny Mack done well is because then if he'd done a crack cross on the left, no one would give him too much grief, would they?
True, yeah.
Because he's filling in. It was just he got a lot of grief when he was getting down the line and then putting balls into the box, and it weren't good. But yeah, I think the last two managers done exactly. I was going to say that, Dan, before you said it. You know, putting square pegs in round holes or whatever it is. And what Neil Harris has done, because we do need to. Pete said it. You know, we need to evolve. But the problem is the way that Millwall Football Club's set up, or with the players that we have, we can't evolve doing a Joe Edwards. We'd love to, and the vision that we had for that was amazing. But we just didn't have the set up, the backup, the anything for that. But what we can do is we can evolve with what we've got under Neil Harris, because Neil Harris will do all them basics really, really good. And, you know, if you want a Joe Edwards team, that will come soon, but then it will never be our Millwall again.
I mean, I don't think you need to evolve. I think that speaks for itself, doesn't it?
Yeah. But if you listen to Neil's comments, he did say in his statement at the end of the game, he went, yes, we want to play like pretty football and things like that. He said, but we haven't got the tools to do it. And he said, we haven't got the players to do it. But there's no saying we won't get the players to do it. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Depending who we get in. And
listen, if you had the players and if you had the players, then actually probably what you'd want is you'd probably rather have Joe Edwards in charge.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But because you haven't got the players, Neil Harris is perfect.
Yeah, well, we're going to get into that later, obviously, because of say, so much has gone on in the, well, not the open, I keep saying the open, the end of this season. We're not even at pre-season yet, or fixture release.
Oh, yeah.
So much has changed. I'm just thinking, you know, positions created as well. Is it eventually going to be an excuse to move Harris upstairs, which I don't think anyone would argue with, whether they think he's doing well as a manager or not. And a younger manager, I don't want to cover Edwards too much because he's done and dusted and we move on, but I just think if Edwards had Harris above him, I think he may have done a bit better, you know, to lean on Harris and for Harris to guide him with his know-how of how the club's best operates, etc., on and off the pitch. Yeah, so we move on. Right. So we just sort of glazed over it, but big news. I went down to Mum and Dad's for 3 or 4 days. Thought I'll have a nice rest down here. Literally, I wake up in the morning, it's going off. Steve Kavanagh and Alex Aldridge both gone. The head of recruitment, Alex Aldridge, and the CEO, Steve Cav, both left the club, we was told, along with Billy Taylor, who was Director of Communications. I always found him all right, Bill. I had a lot of dealings with him. He was very fair, kept his cards very close to his chest, but I suppose that's a good thing if you're working for the club. But these two were not so popular amongst the fan base, were they? And I remember we've done streams before, and when we've been losing games, there's someone just got people tweeting, "Get fucking Alex Aldridge out of this club." It's like as if he's playing fucking centre mid or something.
I remember saying earlier, cracking up thinking about it. I think the last time we done this was when Harris first got appointed.
Probably, because it's probably about a year ago, yeah.
Yeah, and
Even though it's supposed to be a weekly podcast.
I said on that podcast about where they probably thought it was at the time. I think a lot of people were against the Harris decision, and they obviously thought it was the best thing to do at the time. And they were getting absolute pelters. They were the ones getting all the stick out of it. And since then, even though Harris has gone on to do brilliant, I don't know. I sort of half didn't see that coming, to be fair.
I still don't know whether they left or whether they was asked to leave the building by James Berylson. It just seems strange that they both left exactly, all three of them have gone at exactly the same time. Well, maybe their contracts were up, but to have contracts all running at the same time, I don't even if they're not players, are they? Would you have a contract? I'm not sure. Strange one, wasn't it? Especially as the last act that Kavanagh pretty much did was secure the new lease, or in principle, with Lewisham Council. That we're going to get the 999-year lease. Not that any of us will be around to see it, but do you know what I mean? What would you make of it, Ken? This big upheaval, shall we say?
Well, firstly, we've still had a load of people out of the football club go, but Adam Barrett's still there. She makes me die. Like, how's that happened? I honestly think, right, and I've had this argument with you guys in the WhatsApp group as well, because we always go about, we ain't got a budget, we've got no money, blah, 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 blah. I reckon we got loads of dough.
No, we haven't.
And I think that people like Kavanagh and Aldridge were very, very reserved. I'm not saying this is the reason, because I reckon there was a lot more to it, but quite reserved. And I think that JB wants to go for it. I genuinely do. And I think he wants to put his hand in his pocket and he wants to throw some dough at it. And I don't think their vision is the same.
Well, I agree on 50% of that. I'm reading between the lines and maybe, again, hopeful that JB wants to go for it and he's going to try and restructure it, get a few people out and be more of a hands-on chairman. The money thing, he may have money personally, but Millwall Football Club are losing money for 600 grand a year. That's been confirmed by the accountants. Although he's got money, he can't just go, there's some money. He might be able to if he restructures it, like you said, and maybe that's why he wants to go for it.
Yeah, but he definitely, look, I don't know if any of you lot run a business. Pete, you've got business. If you need to put money into your business, it's not difficult to do that. Whether you need to put 5 grand into it or whether you need to put 5 million into it, like it's very easy to do. John Berylson's been doing it for years, putting money into Millwall in order to keep it afloat. You know, so I think he's going to turn around and throw something stupid like 10 mil at it.
Well, that'd be good for us, but it'd still be not a lot in this terms. What I got told was, John Berylson owns Millwall Football Club in effect. Was at the top of the tree, now his son is. But Millwall Football Club is actually owned by a club called, I can't even know what it's called now, something Holdings. And because, was it Millwall?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Because, I mean, no disrespect to Pete, we all know he's Keiko and he's going to go on his yacht next week. But he ain't got a company of Millwall size, and that's what people don't get. It is a business. And there is shareholders and board members. And apparently, like John Berylson, if he needed to, he was at the top of the tree, so he'd make that happen. But now, I mean, this could be completely wrong, and I don't want to speak out of turn. That now, obviously, now he's gone, sadly, his son and wife have to answer to a board of directors, and that's why it's a bit more of a drawn-out process getting any funds out. But I could be wrong on that, but I agree. I think he's going for a restructure, and he's going to go for it. A lot of what he's done so far, Pete, you?
Yeah, I agree with
Ken.
Now,
I mean, not throughout the season.
Yeah, I agree with Ken. I think something's going on behind the scenes there. You don't do that so soon after, like the announcement of getting the lease, things like that. I think there's someone in the wings. I remember someone quoting like Millwall's like the nearest jewel to London. Like, you know, we've never really been tapped into, have we? The nearest club to the city of London, things like that. I think there's someone in the wings ready to take over or run alongside James Berylson. And I agree. I think there's going to be money made available this year to have a go. And like I say, the first step is to get rid of the other lazy so-and-so, get him out the door, and we can start building again. What do you mean, who? Flemming.
Oh, Flemming. Because we were talking about that upstairs. I was thinking, there's no one left.
I thought first, and then I realised.
I can't stand him. Never. I called him out 6 months after he started for us. He was brilliant first 6 months, and after that, bomb, he went, and he weren't the same player since. So lazy, good for nothing. But I actually think now that once he's gone, we're getting a bit of couple of new midfielders in. He can run with the ball, can take a throw in, and can take a free kick. Yeah.
You saying he can't take free kicks or throw-ins very well?
No, of course he can't.
It's the front he has to practice.
Are you joking me?
No, I'm winding you up. It's the front he's got to practice.
He couldn't even reach the penalty area with his throws.
I call it the non-long throw.
His free kicks were terrible.
But at the front he had to practice them like so extensively in the warm-up. I just wanted a little clap off the fans as he went in.
He always wants to be the main man, his name in shining lights, isn't he?
Worst free kick take I've ever seen.
And he scored only one free kick, I think, and it was a deflected massive deflection.
We're jumping a bit ahead. Before we got to cover it because it's happened. But Millwall appoint a director of football after 3 out. 1 came in. This guy, Steve Gallen, brother of ex-QPR player Joe Gallen, is it? And I think there might be another Gallen. But this guy is our new director of football. I can't remember us ever having a director of football, but someone corrected me on that or argued to the contrary and said Peter de Savre. In my, again, hopeful mind, I was hoping that this was going to be a position created maybe in a year or two for Neil Harris to step into. This guy's been at Charlton. He's got ties with Lee Bowyer. He's been assistant to Bowyer at some national side. Spoke to someone who's got someone in the Charlton setup, a son of theirs, and they said that he comes highly recommended, but not a lot of people were too impressed with this appointment. Anyone got anything to say on that one, or should we?
Don't really know too much.
No, I don't. I mean, I've looked at the Wikipedia page. Right, so before we get on to Flemming, again, literally one day my mum and dad's. This happens. Millwall have been accepted for Japhet Tanganga. Buzzing with that news, boys?
Yeah. Until it's signed on the dotted line, and then I won't hold out too much hope.
But what you got to remember, that just shows that's a show of intent by Millwall, right? To go out and put their money where their mouth is, to actually go for him, and that he ain't coming cheap. I think he's got to be 3 million plus 20 grand a week, isn't he? Surely, that's showing an intent. That's just the start, as far as I'm concerned, of Millwall's rebuild. I think with Hutchinson gone as well, and listen, brilliant Hutchinson, absolutely gutted he didn't get a farewell sort of off at the den and that. But, I think that's a clear intent of Millwall going forward and what we want to do. I think we're going. I think I'm confident we're going to get Cresswell as well, and that'll be the building of that back. He will, Joe. I'm telling you. That back four, and then a couple of midfielders, and I think we'll have a good squad. Well, I don't think we'll suffer what we did this season, but that's a show of intent by getting Tanganga. No, saying he's going to sign because other clubs might come in, like Stoke and people like that, offering more money. Maybe.
Yeah,
Middlesbrough, yeah.
Did you say Stoke, Pete? Stoke always seem to come out of nowhere for our players.
That's right.
Did you say Stoke? Yeah. Tanganga, Ken. Nothing but good news.
Yeah, I think he's class. I mean, there's definitely no way he'll be playing in Bromley next season.
I was about to say, what idiot said he played for Bromley? But again, when Harris come in, Danny Mack playing right wing back. I'm trying to dig myself out of nowhere. Danny Mack playing right wing back, and you had Tanganga right side of a back three. And he didn't look like any sort of player, did he? He's improved massively, and he's scored some big goals as well.
The thing is, Dan, it's like you've got to remember, he had to get up to speed.
Yeah. True.
He had to get up to speed. He weren't used to playing that sort of tempo with the championship and things like that. So, yes, it took him 3 or 4 games to get up to what he's turned out to be now.
Well, he's been out for about 3 or 4 years, pretty much, on and off, hasn't he? Well, I will say this, right, and some people won't like it. He's good, yes, but he's never going any higher than Millwall, I don't think. I think he'd be a very good player for us, but I don't think he's as good as some people think Casper De Norre are. But
I think that someone like Tanganga is, like you say, that shows the class of the man, just like Pete said. Took him 3-4 games to settle in, and them 3-4 games were horrendous. Gave the ball away.
He gave away like a couple of goals in that as well, didn't he?
Yeah. Didn't he? He might have scored an own goal as well. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But he was bad. But I tell you what, for the last 15 games, he's done nothing but get better and better. And I still don't think that we've probably seen the best of Tanganga.
No.
And I think if we do manage to get it over the line, and he has another season of keep progressing, keeping up with the experience, I think we could have a defender on our hands. And I'll be honest with you, I think that you could see him in the Premier League. Whether that would be with us if we were good enough next season, or with someone else.
Joe, so I'm just looking. I think he's 25 now, is he?
I think so, around that, isn't he? I think you might be spot on there. I think we are learning from our mistakes there with the whole Cresswell saga and the Dan Ballard saga.
Yeah.
It's like third time lucky now. It's like, right, we've had these players on our hands, exact same position. It's like, just get it done this time. But again, I'm not making too much of the news yet because I know how we are. Yeah. And I hate to be a pessimist about it, but yeah, I won't believe it until it's fully announced he's agreed terms, because I think weren't he on some huge wages at top?
Kieran put it in. Kieran put it in. We all laughed at Kieran as well when he put it in, how much he was on. Then he found the thing and he was right.
I really struggled to see at the minute how we're going to get. It's all right having the bid accepted, but how we're going to get some sort of agreement on the personal terms.
Well, it's like Telly just said there, and it's spot on. And I said this in the video that I did. I mean, I can bid. I wouldn't bid for any of you over a tenner, but if I would say Joe, you was worth 3 million, I'll go. I'll have Pete. I'll give you 3 million for Joe. He'd be a good personal trainer for getting me in shape. And then you go, yeah, right, Dan. And then I go, Joe, how much you want? And you go, fucking 20 grand a week. And I go, oh, I ain't got it. So really, the 3 million I ain't got in the first place if I can't match your wage. So I think a conversation would have taken place without doubt.
Do you know another thing? Go on.
Go on, mate. Go on, you go.
Oh, no, I was just going to add another thing about him. I think the massive change was just basically when Harris come in. We noticed with him before, under Joe Edwards, when he looked so bad, it was as if, like, as everyone knows, Joe Edwards trying to get us to play this pretty football, overcomplicate things. And that's when he didn't look great. It's as if, I see a massive turning point. It's as if as soon as Harris has come in, he's sort of gone to him, forget the nonsense. I don't need you, like, playing it round silly at the back, doing this. Your job is just to defend.
He is quite an old school defender, isn't he?
It's as if he's gone back to basics with Tanganga. Go, this is your job, just defend, forget anything else. And that's when we've seen the best of him. That's when he's come on leaps and bounds.
True.
Someone's just put in the comments there, and I agree with that. Callum said, I don't think we'd go for him, though, if the club didn't believe we could afford his wages.
That's a good point, actually, yeah.
Well, don't forget, we tried to buy Josh Windass and thought he was a 3-bed semi, didn't we? So we'll pay like over 25 years or something. So, again, I definitely think it's a change in hierarchy with James Berylson coming to the forefront. I don't think he's looking to sell the club. I think he wants to carry on his dad's ambition and some. I think he wants to be like, Eddie Hearn almost. He wants to prove to himself and us that, my dad did an amazing job, but I can take it to the next level. So he's definitely invested in the club. What Joe just said there, third time lucky, and you can let me know in the comments as well. For argument's sake, if you could have Tanganga, Cresswell or Dan Ballard, which one of the three would you all have and why?
Oh, that's an interesting point.
That's a good question, isn't it?
I'd have... Go on, Pete.
I'd have Cresswell.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, I'll tell you why, because his range of passing was second to none. Yeah, he wasn't. Again, he took time to get up to speed. I know he started off cutting goals, but then he had a bad run, didn't he? And Hutch come in, and then Hutch got injured later on in the season, and he come back in again. and when he come back in,
miles better,
different player, yeah. And his range of passing was absolutely like them diagonal balls across. Brilliant.
He can pick up the ball and run with it if he needed to as well. Out of the centre of defence, run straight through the middle.
That's right.
I think as well. You don't know whether Tanganga is Millwall yet. Do you know what I mean? Like, was he here because he's trying to get his career back up and running? You know, and he found an avenue.
Yeah.
Creswell, you knew he absolutely loved it at Millwall.
Yeah,
like, he didn't want to leave. He wanted it.
He ain't kicked a fucking ball for Leeds either, is he?
I know.
He's had a wasted year, hasn't he? Sitting in that bench.
His dad tweeted, didn't he? When any chance of getting a game soon somewhere and put a picture of him obviously playing for Millwall.
Cresswell's got a few more years on his side as well. He's a few. Yeah.
It surprised me that it's fucking landslide, Cresswell. I mean, I don't want to be negative, but he was so, again, like Tanganga, he was so bad the first half of the season. I was like, it's like a Yuri Skalak showreel all over again. Do you know, this weren't the player we got. He scored 2 goals, didn't he? First game of the season against Stoke.
Yeah, Stoke, yeah.
And then we went away to Sheffield United to give one away. Went somewhere else, and I went from calling him Champagne Charlie to Asti Charlie, the cheapest bit of splosh you can get. But he did improve. Do you know what? For me, and I'm probably the only one who's going to say it. I'm not just doing that because I'm the only one who's going to say it. I think Ballard, and I think people don't remember it because it's the longest one ago.
It's probably
I love Ballard, mate. He was I mean, Creswell was brave as fuck as well when we got that big fucking kicked in and played on.
The thing you got to remember with Ballard as well, though, hasn't he got quite a big problem, like injury-wise? He's injury prone. He was out for a bit with us, wasn't he? And then when he signed for Sunderland as well, he was straight out for a long stretch, like a massive long stretch again. So I feel like I do like him. I think he was brilliant for us, but I just feel like if you add Ballard, it's a bit more of a risk.
Yeah, you got to factor that in.
You'll have another Hutchinson.
If you could buy Tanganga, loan Cresswell.
I thought you were going to say Tang Ballard well and just like combine all 3 of them into one. What a player he'd be, Tang Ballard well. But yeah, look, I mean, going back to Tanganga, people want us to sign just to sing that song, don't they? I've heard, I don't know everything, as we all know. We get things wrong. But I've heard it's still done, and we're going to look into who we've actually got left in the squad later on. And someone's fucking absolutely got to be coming in that back line because we are bare bones.
Well, listen, we also need to cover this. Like, we need another centre back because Cooper can't be our centre back next season.
No. Well, look, we'll get into that. That's nearly at the end of the show. Everyone keeps skipping ahead of my pictures. Maybe I should have sent you. I should have sent in an itinerary, but no one would have read it, so there's no point. Right. Okay. What am I doing here? Why does that say Tanganga twice? It isn't. Right. Go on then, Pete. 3 clubs interested in Zian Flemming, Ipswich Town and 2 Spanish teams. It's alleged that we can be expecting offers of around £5 million for the Bermondsey Bergkamp.
Well, let me tell you now.
Joe's walked off on the back of it.
No, he is not.
Get a cushion.
That he is not Premiership by a million miles. Yeah, he ain't even top end Championship for me. He's middle of the range. So for me, he ain't going to the Premiership. Maybe Burnley or someone like that who still think he's any good. I think he's lazy. I think he's got a big head. He thinks he's better than what he is. And listen, I can't wait for him to go. And I don't think it'll be, like I say, to Ipswich. I think it might be to Burnley, might be to Stoke with a bit of luck. You know what I mean? Runs at the bottom of the league. But can't wait to see the back of him, to be fair.
Well, look, I'll just say this. I'm hearing that to balance the books and Tanganga coming in, Fleming's going to go out. Him having a big head, I've got absolutely no problem with because, you know, at this level, anything you do in life, you want to be the best, you've got to have that self-belief. But I'm with you. I'm with you what you're saying. But despite that, I didn't even realise he'd finished our top scorer.
6 goals, was it? Or 7?
7, I believe. Ken?
That's how bad we were.
Listen, I'd bite their hands off for 5 mil. I think we've probably got at least another 3 or 4 players that I would say are worth way more than him that people wouldn't think. So, to me, I don't think Zian Flemming's done hardly anything this season. That's for sure. I don't think he even warrants a 5 mil price tag. You know, I'm with
Flemming.
When you look at there's players like I don't know whether I've got it right. Is it Scott Twine?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Attacking midfielder, right? Like he's not. I reckon you could probably get him for less than 5 mil. And he's 10 times the player that Flemming is. So, you know, for 5 mil, bite their hands off, go and buy Tanganga, still got a bit in the kitty, you covered your losses, and that's before we've even started.
Yeah.
Joe?
You're going to miss him.
Do you know what the funny thing is? I do agree, like, with what my dad said. It's just the way he says it just sounds
brilliant. It's getting clipped up all day long.
So over the top. Like, I feel like it's
passion.
There'll be an
Instagram later. There'll be an Instagram
later. When he's
later.
saying it, I think to myself, like, it's a bit harsh. But then on reflection, I'm like, well, he's actually right, to be fair. I think with Flemming, listen, I know you can have the argument. He finished top goal scorer, you said, didn't he? And then last season, it was Bradshaw, though, wasn't it? He was a couple behind Bradshaw.
17, Flemming 16.
He was 5th. Yeah. But I know he gets goals here and there, but if you look in the grand scheme of things over the season, how many games you watch, he actually doesn't affect a game enough.
No.
You know, when we sign him, you think he's going to be that player that picks up the ball in the centre of the park. He's going to run forward, beat a player. He seems actually non-existent in, I'd say, like a solid 90 to 95% of the games. So I think get rid of him, get a little bit for him, whatever. I don't think you'd actually miss him.
No, of course you wouldn't. No,
get someone in with a bit of flair speed instead of the Dutch donkey. I do think I liken him to, like, everyone's got one. A mate who just goes on a night out and just tries to crack on with every single bird because he knows one of them will end up saying yes. Like that first season, he'd shoot them anywhere, wouldn't he? Like, and some of them would come on someone's arse and go in.
It was
a good analogy. I like that.
It was the first 5 months. He had August, September, October, November, December, and January is when he's tailed off, right? End of January, and I called him out then, and I got pelters for it, saying, what are you talking about? He's got 15 goals. He tailed off in that January. And ever since then, I've not seen him have one good game. He's lazy. Like, you know, big, you know, like, thinks he's the big star of the show.
Yeah.
Making the throws and the free kick. You know, Joe Edwards is meant to be, not Joe Edwards, who is it, the one at free kick, a right back? He's a good
Joe Bryan.
Joe Bryan meant to be a good, never had a look in to take a free kick.
Remember Birmingham away this season, towards the start of the season?
Nisbet said, fuck me.
First free kick scored.
Yeah.
Do you know what? It just made me laugh that people. You went, I got pelters for you. I remember I saw you when I bumped into you at Southampton away. You went, I've nearly had 4 fights today. I went, what, were Southampton fans? You went, no, I'm Millwall fans because I said Casper the North was shit. Oh, brilliant. Well, look,
another one I'm not a fan of, but there you go.
So what Teddy just said there, get someone in with a bit of flair, speed instead of the Dutch donkey.
True.
I'm not this guy's not Flemming, who I'm going to mention. I've mentioned it in a video. I don't think you watch the channel, but I mentioned someone who I don't rate really highly personally, but I think if we invested in our youth and gave this guy some fucking actual game time in one position, would be Romain Esse.
Yeah.
I think he'd do a much better job than Flemming, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Otherwise, Romain Esse is going to fucking end up.
Play him in that position, he'd run with the ball.
Yeah, he would. And I think that's the link that's missing massively between. Look, I like Mitchell and Saville. Not everyone likes Mitchell, but everyone loves Saville. Do you know? And I put this in the WhatsApp group, I think. News at Dem put a fact out or a quiz. It was the hardest quiz ever, by the way. And it said Alan Campbell didn't have the greatest year at Millwall. However, he still had 2 assists, which is more than Mitchell, Saville, and Ganor.
Who did?
Alan Campbell. He had more assists than all 3 of them. He had 2. I think Denor didn't have any, neither did Savile or Mitchell, or maybe Denor got one.
That's the only time he touched the ball.
That's what I'm saying. So we're all going, shit, get rid of him. And we got no one assisting there. So I definitely think that, we need a 10 that's going to assist and not be massively fucking self-indulgent like Flemming is trying to take the... Surprised he didn't run back and take Sarkic's goal kicks. Like everyone had that kid in their team, didn't they, when they was little?
I think it's a massive...
Go on, mate.
Go on. I feel like with Flemming, it's a massive ego thing, isn't it? He wants to be... He had that good start, like when he first come in, first 5 months or so, and it's as if that went straight to his head. All of a sudden, he thought he's the main man. And since then, he feels like he don't need to put in as much effort because he just thinks he's going to be the main man anyway.
Maybe he's down tools. Maybe he's down tools in a sense.
Done that a long time ago, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the games under Harris, I think he did put more effort in. But the problem is that Zian Flemming is probably a player that would do extremely well in a football playing team where he hasn't got, teams that don't move a lot. But
ain't got to track back, just sit in that goal, receive the ball.
Luxury player.
Yeah, he's got to work hard at Millwall and he don't want to do that. He don't want to do that. So I wouldn't say that his ability isn't there. I'd say he's got ability. However, it's not the type of ability that you need to be in our team.
Do you know what, right? We not the season just gone, but the season before, at the start of it, right, we was doing fan cams in the box after the game, and my mate Ollie did one, and Flemming had scored that day. And he said on the fan cam, he's the new Aidan O'Brien, and everyone fucking hammered him all season. Just buried him for making what we assumed at the time, what we thought at the time was a stupid comment. But now, actually...
It's pretty spot on.
He don't get involved in games, really. He'll pop up occasionally and score a goal.
Yeah, bang on.
He's a little bit like the Dutch O'Brien, isn't he?
I think I'd rather have O'Brien.
I loved Aidan. I loved Aidan in the club. He always popped up and scored really important. But he wasn't always heavily involved in games, was he? And he'd pop up right at an important time and score a good goal.
One of your comments here said, like, he was sulky because he didn't get his move to Burnley. So the first 8 or 9 games, he was probably on a sulk. So I think he was like that all season, personally.
I mean, he's got no Dutch Liam Trotter. Don't slag Liam Trotter. He's just agreed to come
I prefer Liam Trotter over him.
He's just agreed to come. He's more defensive Trotter, though. Wasn't he more of a big defensive?
No,
I remember him picking up the ball in the centre and just driving straight through the middle.
He's coming on the show, actually, Liam Trotter. He's travelling the world at the minute. He said he'd do it when he gets back. This was the thing with Flemming. He's got zero pace. He used to protect the ball really well last season, but he doesn't do that anymore. He kept going up for long balls upfield and he'd bring it down. And by the time he brought it down, he'd lost it. Yeah, lots of negatives, not so many positives.
Yeah.
This season. And now, hindsight's a wonderful thing, but we probably should have took that 12 mil or whatever it was and we got offered it. Right, moving on, boys. Just before we do move on, we have got one sponsorship space available for next season. It's driving me mad. I just want to get rid of it. We are sold out for the Euros. We are going to be sponsored by a very big company for that, but I'm going to break that news next week. Our main sponsor, of course, is Highway to Huddersfield Away. Big Kev to me. The live stream sponsors also sold out to the company that are sponsoring us for the Euros. And the Batball sponsors, we sold 5 out of 6. We have got one left, and it is available. If you do want to potentially take it off my hands, that'd be handy because I've just been in Turkey for a week and I'm fucking skint. No, I'm joking. We got to pay for the box. Well, I'm not joking. We got to pay for our box coming up, and I'm hearing it's going to go up to even more money. So for me and Henry last year, it was 3,380 quid for 2 of us for the season.
Was it?
That's 1,680 each, I think, or something like that.
Well, I paid. You share it with obviously the group of people.
The rest of us all put in, but obviously Henry used to get in for free, but now he's an adult, he doesn't. So I paid $3,500for him nearly, me and him last year, and he goes to work full time now. So
you can't use that box down. Not ever is it up that end, is it?
No, I love it, mate. I love it. I do the streams as well. The streams help out with the donations. And on that note, super chats are open. Forgot to say that. You can donate to the channel via the comment section. But moving on to arguably the biggest talking point so far of the show. Millwall announced their retain list for the 24-25 season. We'll cover the list in greater detail. But first and foremost, boys, let's start with the first one we found out about. The big dog, Bartosz Bialkowski, leaving the club, 36 years old, back-to-back player of the season. Great fucking goalkeeper, great man. And we got him for about 300 grand because he failed 2 medicals. One of the best days' work, both of them. Best days' work Neil Harris ever done. Let's start with a big man who got his farewell, sort of the final game of home Plymouth.
Mate, I have had, I'm not joking. Dan, you know, right? I have had absolute meltdowns about the fact that Bart has left Millwall Football Club.
Sorry, I think I spoke over you a bit. From Evie, your daughter, yeah.
From Evie, yeah. So Evie, the only reason why my daughter would come to Millwall would be to see Bart. That would be it. Right, I've got pictures with her and Bart. Even if she knew he weren't playing, she'd make sure she wanted to get there early so she could watch it. Like to the point where at bedtime she's crying her eyes out. Right, to another point where I've messaged him on Instagram to see if he can do me a video for her. So like it's been.
We're waiting for a happy ending. Anyway, go on.
There's no happy ending. He hasn't even replied to me. I ain't even read it.
Well, mate, he ain't read a reply to me either, so don't worry about it for a minute. It's not just you.
So Bart leaving has been an absolute nightmare in my house. But on the football basis, I thought, the first couple of seasons, was it 2 or 3 seasons that he was our number one? I thought he was outstanding. I thought he was great, a great servant to our club. I think that when he was replaced, firstly by George Long, I could see the reasons why. However, the fact that George Long wasn't that great didn't help. But once you see someone like Matty Sarkic in goal, you can definitely then understand why he was then not first choice anymore. And he just got old and his legs went. But he was a great person, wasn't he? A great guy, and I think a great goalkeeper. Done really well for us.
I mean, he didn't. I don't think he ever had legs to start with. That's why we ended up getting him for 300 instead of 900. He was an out-and-out shot stopper, wasn't he? Made some great saves down the years.
Yeah,
Joe,
definitely.
Pete, anyone?
Yeah, I think Bart, to be fair, for his own sake, he had to go. Don't know if it's true. I had rumours that he's sort of his family's out in Spain now. Is that right? If he might be getting a move there, which makes sense for him. And he could easily go and be a number one at another team. Did he get player of the season 2 seasons in a row, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Am I right there?
Yeah, you're right, yeah. Back
Brilliant.
to back.
And in all fairness, I don't think he'd done a lot wrong to warrant getting dropped in the first place for Jules Long, in my opinion. I know Kenny said he did see the reasons, but I don't think he'd done anything majorly wrong.
He was never that mobile. I saw him take his first ever goal kick, and I thought, fucking hell, his knees going to collapse.
Yeah. Do you know what? All the stuff you see from coming out of the club, like on the social media and stuff, like he could have easily kicked up. Any other player might have kicked up about being dropped or whatever. He still looked like happy to be there, good person to have around the club, and he's got nothing but respect for him. But as I say, for his own sake, he probably had to go, really.
Ken, there you go, mate. You know where to take your summer holiday next year.
Yeah, me and Evie are off to Spain.
He was an absolute legend. He took over from Figgy Bob, didn't he? What's his name?
Frank Fielding.
Who was the one before? Archer, wasn't it?
Archer, pretty much, wasn't it?
You know what, funny enough, when I saw we needed a goalkeeper now, I actually looked at what Jordan Archer was doing, his contracts for the crack. I think he's still at QPR. No, what happened was Archer, they got rid of Archer. Then we come to the summer and we tried to sign Bart. He failed a medical. So we went back in cheaper and he failed a medical again. So the deal got cancelled. And then we went and bought Frank Fielding, or got Frank Fielding for nothing. Frank Fielding then popped his quad in the opening day of the season. And then he got stretchered off, and then Bart came on as a sub. It was only on loan then, I think. And then eventually we signed Bart, and Frank Fielding fucking broke his wrist and fucking never played. And Bart ended up being number one.
He was brilliant in the first couple of years. Absolutely brilliant. Breath of fresh air. Some of the same point blank saves he made. Fantastic.
Incredible.
And it's just refreshing knowing you can trust your fucking goalkeeper, honestly. Like, to have that feeling was brilliant when he was in goal.
Yeah, absolutely loved him. Proper keeper.
Yeah. Right, moving on to the club captain. I know which way this is going to go. Who wants to open it up? About the club captain, Sean Hutchinson, got him for free from Fulham. On his debut was that fucking horrific night away at Peterborough. We lost 5-1. He come on a sub, I think, and then got stretchered back off. But he came good, and he's been brilliant for us. And a lot of people say, well, he keeps getting injured. He doesn't. He's just been injured recently. He's played a lot of games for us down the years and been a great skipper. Weighed in with his fair share of goals as well, and been the core, along with Jake Cooper and the other guy on the screen, of our existence and our drive in the championship over the last 7 years. But why did we not get told he was going? Why did Bart get the send-off? That's what it's going to be about, Liz.
That's my main issue there, because surely if he's not who knows whether it was Mill not offering him a deal, or I don't know the ins and outs, or whether he didn't accept whatever, or whether he wanted to go. But surely they would have known a bit beforehand. And I know Bart, obviously, not taking nothing away from that, he well deserved his send-off. But how many years Hutchinson been at the club, our captain? Surely he was more deserving of a big send-off like that.
I mean, even Bart's send-off, it wasn't even a send-off, was he? I can't hear a fucking thing. Maybe it's where I sit. Can you hear anything that gets said on that microphone?
No, I had to watch the video back.
You can't even just go, oh, I'll get a clap. You don't know, just wait for everyone else to clap. Like, the fucking audio is shocking. But yeah, Hutchinson, I think maybe, because I definitely think that Alex Pearce was in a very similar situation and got a contract extension. I actually feel at this point, Hutchinson needs to be careful because we're trying to get Alex Pearce on next week. I actually think that Hutchinson had a lot more to offer playing-wise at this point than Alex Pearce did at the same point. And I'm surprised they didn't give it to him. I just think maybe they wasn't sure what he was going to be doing. And then they went in for Tanganga. Probably wasn't expecting Tanganga to say yes. And he maybe it's been agreed. I'm pretty sure, but obviously they're all on their fucking summer holidays at the minute. But yeah, Ken,
I think that shows the Tanganga deal is a goal. I think, probably for the first time in a long time in his career, he spent a lot of time on the bench, watching another defensive, couple doing well, watching the team succeed. And I think that when he's found out that they're going in for Tanganga, and he's probably knocked on the door, and said, look, where do I stand in this?
Maybe.
Be Tanganga and Cooper. And if Harris has turned around and gone, yeah, I think, you're going to be my backup, he's going to turn around and go, well, I'm knocking on a little bit. I want to be able to play games. The injuries that I keep picking up are going to come back more if I'm not consistently playing. And he's made a decision based on his career. I don't think he would have ever wanted to leave.
That's a really good point. I didn't cover that in my video. It never popped into my head. So, yeah, well done. It's a really good point. But, yeah, I don't think he wants to leave. There is rumours he could be going to Charlton. But, look, he's got a young family. They're probably in school, and they probably don't want to take him out of school. And like you just said, if he's got no... People sometimes forget that footballers are actually human, and it's just it's their job, as good as the job it allegedly is. Pete, the club captain.
Yeah, I'd like to say thank you very much for his service. He's absolutely brilliant captain, amazing player. And when you think we bought him and he was like injury prone, he's probably played so many games for us. It's untrue. But and obviously one of his special moments was that winning goal against Bristol Rovers, that headed goal to get us into the playoffs. And never forget that. Never forget that memory. We was all at the in the den that day watching it on the big screen because we couldn't get a ticket to go to the game itself. But so I think his time is right. The time is right. But yeah, I like to say thank you for his service. Been absolutely amazing captain, amazing player. And I think if you actually looked this season, the best runs we had was when Hutchinson was in the side.
Yeah, agree.
That run we had in December, that was when Hutchinson was in the side. and then he got injured. Yeah, and then we went backwards again. Yeah, so he was inspirational on that little run we had. You know,
it's been like that last couple of seasons though, isn't it? We've had a bad patch when he's been out of the team, and then when he's come back, that's when we pick up again. Him and Cooper always performed better together.
This is why I said I think it's he definitely had something to offer. Sorry, Ken, go on.
No, I was just saying we don't have any leaders. It's very evident that when Hutch is on the pitch, you've got a leader on the pitch. And I think, when the going gets tough and you've got someone that's got your back and someone's going to tell you to keep pushing when you're tired or whatever, it makes a big difference. And you're 100% right. I don't know. I think it was Pete that said it. When we've had Hutch in the team, we have been a far better team.
Well said. Just bringing us on to that point you said about leaders, this now opens up the club captaincy for someone. Obviously, Jake Cooper is the team captain in Hutchinson's absence, but will Cooper get the team captain and club captain? I said this in a video I did. Andy Fetis. It's really baffling me, that surname. Sorry. Andy said, what's the opinion on new club captain Saville? I said, potentially the only other candidate for that is Saville. But I don't think Sav's got, I think probably a year and you might change it. I think Sav might be going. Ryan Leonard, we make a case for it now, but I think, again, he's kicking on. So I think he'll probably go to Cooper, boys. Any opinions who you think it'll be, who you'd like it to be?
I'd be happy with Saville, to be honest. I think Saville's... listen, you take Cooper, but I think one thing I've always liked about Saville that sort of sometimes goes unnoticed and he sometimes don't get credit. I like he's got a bit of grit, a bit of tenacity about him. He knows the club. He'll get stuck in. And I like it. Sometimes when there's arguments on the pitch or something, he'll be the first one there. He winds up players. And I think
he loves it,
he just really gets the club. And so for me, I'd pick Saville as club captain.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I'd go for Leonard. I'd definitely go for Leonard because he epitomises everything that we want in a Mill player, especially this season. He's tracking back, he's tackling, he's he just works and works and works. And I think he's the leader there. He's the one that will probably snap at players saying you're not doing your job because all they've got to do is watch him because that guy was absolutely immense. Especially again, I think you'll find when Leonard was in that team again in December with Hutchinson, we went on that run and Leonard got injured at the same time as Hutchinson and we went on that bad run. And then all hey presto, Leonard come back into the team and we see an improvement. Mate. And especially the last 6 or 7 games, he's brilliant.
Hey, Leonard literally does not put one foot wrong in the whole game. No,
he ain't.
It's actually a joke. Look at Kelly,
some of them tackles he made. Them tracking back.
They can't get past him. You had Jack Clark against him. You had fucking the geezer from Leeds against him. Yeah. They can't get round him.
No.
And if they do get round him, he makes an unbelievable last-ditch tackle going forward. He's just the player. I watched the Wall Talk podcast they did with him, and he said when I first come, I couldn't get into it. Like, don't know what it was, but I couldn't settle at the club, and not the club, but he said like surroundings. I just couldn't. I wasn't very good. Nowhere near as good as I knew I could be. But obviously now he's fucking. I wish if I'd do anything, I'd take 5 years off Ryan Leonard. Like he's age.
Dan, do you know what cracks me up? Do you ever remember doing that?
Yeah, I know you're saying all-time 11
during COVID. Millwall's all-time worst 11,
and I had to pick
it
3
weren't
players.
Just us. I used to slate him. Everyone in the
players.
He got voted in Millwall's worst all-time 11 in that first 11.
That's him and Tanganga.
That's mad.
No, but I had to pick 3 players for each position, right?
Yeah.
And I was hating on him a bit of time because we got told he's a box-to-box midfielder and he was useless.
I heard you say that Leonard should have played for Bromley as well, didn't you?
Mate, Bromley are on the up. In a minute, you're going to have Byron and Tanganga centre halves. Sean Hutchinson on the bench again after he's gone down 2 leagues. But I had to nominate 3 players for each position. So if it's centre midfielders, which he was at the time, it's 3 there with 3 there, and people voted. And people in the comments
so he got voted in, yeah.
I didn't put him in it. So blame me.
I remember, everyone voted for him.
Come on, Ken's been waiting. I've kept you till last for a reason, Ken. A club captain?
Yeah. I think Leonard, the only problem that you've got with Leonard is that although he's done well this season, there is the potential of him getting injured. He's quite injury prone, isn't he? And if you gave him the armband and halfway through a season he gets injured and he was influential on the pitch, so I'd probably look at Saville if Saville's going to be a mainstayer in the team next season. This is really difficult at the moment because you don't know who's coming in, you don't know who's going. But if you looked at the team right now, I'd say Leonard 100%. But can he stay fit all season?
Well, Leonard said in that Wall Talk, them fucking giving him some plugs here, that Wall Talk episode, he said that he spoke about the injuries that he's had, and he said he's learned how to manage them a bit better because he flies in like a fucking lunatic. He gets injured, he gets hurt every week. Yeah. He's probably doing that in training. Do you know what I mean? And now he's probably got a bit older, a bit more experience, probably wised up a bit and learned to manage it a bit better. But yeah, definitely. If he was sitting around that table behind you, Ken, for an ideal dinner party, I know Ryan Leonard would definitely be on one of those seats.
Matt Smith will be on the other.
Well, let's not say too much just yet, but with the next couple of weeks, mate, your dream could be coming true. Right here on Lions TV. This contact has been made with the big dog, and I'm hearing that he's up for it, but I don't want to jinx it. Right. So, the club's released list, they didn't actually, I said earlier, they didn't actually put a list out of who they're keeping, so I had to work that one out for myself. But I'm going to go into a little bit just quickly of a rant I had on social media when I found out that Abdul Malik, Nana Boateng, George Walker, Finley Cotton, Zane Myers, Seb Drozd, Kieran McKay, Frankie Hivid, and let's have a go at Alexei Hamachuchi. I lost that there, didn't I? And then when I realised I lost it, I started a bit on for the crack. Right, the last guy, the shirt printer's nightmare, I'm not going to talk about. Kieran McKay, no disrespect, I don't know who he is, I'm not going to talk about him. Or Finley Cotton. Zane Myers was actually Andy Myers, his son, who was Joe Edwards' assistant. And he was all right, to be fair. I watched him a couple of times. He's a left back. He's obviously got the gig for his old man. And he's followed him now out the door a few months later. Frankie Hivid, we signed from Bromley about a year ago. So that was one of the shortest stints at the club ever. He'll probably go back to Bromley now. Seb Drozd, George Walker, Nana Boateng, and Abdul Malik. Those players there. I mean, I shouldn't discount Abdul Malik, but I never really rated him as a player, but he scored loads for the 21s. Nana Boateng, George Walker's really, really good young right-back captain, pacey, really good player. I don't understand why they've let him go. And Seb Drozd was one we got from a non-league side up like North London, I can't remember what it's called. But he was really good and raw. And these players I used to watch every week when they used to be at Kelmont Road all the time. And they had potential. They're good players. I understand what someone said on social media that I named a lot of other players that left the club and they went, well, what are any of them doing? And I get that. But if they've been at our club for that long, you ain't tried them. They're just sort of slowly rotting away. And by the time they do leave, they probably lost all their confidence. The academy, win everything or get to cup finals and not enough for making it off the production line for me.
Yeah.
Weren't some of them players 21, 22 that they let go?
That's what I was going to say. My argument is with, listen, if you're any good these days, we've seen it like with SA, sure there's a couple to mention in the past. If you're even 18, 19, 20, if you're going to make it, you should be in and around the first team from that sort of age, 19, even 20, pushing it. And I noticed, I didn't realise that Abdul Malik, he seems to have been at the club years. I know he went off and then come back, but I'm sure he was I see the other day, he's 22, 23, maybe even. And he's still playing for the 21s team.
And this is my argument. Okay,
he's
bring him through.
Make it. Yeah.
If you're going to bring him through.
Can't even get on the bench.
No, well, I do know this, and I will say it now, it doesn't really matter. But Abdul Malik got on the bench for, I think it was a pre-season, I can't remember what it was. And he turned up late. And he walked in while I was giving the team talk. And Gary went, sit down or something. And Abdul Malik were fucking reacted to that. So that's probably why he didn't get another look in. But, I mean, Boateng come on against Crystal Palace, didn't he, in the cup?
Yeah, I remember that. I said that the other day.
I mean, the players that have gone, Sean O'Brien, Hayden Muller, Bessart Topologies at Bromley, best like Topology come on pre-season, look really good in a few games, and they're getting contracts, and then that's coming to an end when they're 19, 18, 20, and then they're getting another 2 years. Like Tom Leahy's a good player. He's just been given another 2-year contract, and he's really promising, but I guarantee he won't kick a fucking football for the football club.
How old's he? Leahy
was the year younger than that lot. So I don't know, but we've got, like, for example, we're going to get onto the goalkeepers later. This Ethan Waddy, right? We signed an American geezer from Chelsea. He's 22, and he's in the 21s. If you're not in and around it by 20ish, you've got to be looking elsewhere, surely.
Yeah.
Especially with our budget and stuff. You know what I mean?
You look at another one like Zach Lovelace for us. What, played when he was 15 in the first team?
Yeah, exactly. Again, SA's played. Mitchell's played. McNamara did he? Because McNamara actually never really made it. He went and made his name at St Johnston. But again, look at SA. We've got the perfect opportunity now. And I say I'm not even sure he's ready for it or he's that good for it. But just fucking throw him in Flemming's role if he ain't got no money. Yeah. You give him 20 games, and if he ain't no good, at least you know then. If he is good, you've had a touch. Strange one.
I think that there obviously, again, must be something bigger happening. You know, when you look at, you know, some of the names I don't even recognise, to be honest, but Abdul Malik can do one. You know, he fobbed us off last season, didn't he, to try and do something.
Oh, yeah, he did, didn't he?
And
he went on trial about 3 clubs, and then he come back and they give him a contract.
Yeah, so he can go on trial with another 20 clubs, and he'll probably be at Bromley with Hutchinson and Tanganga.
Yeah, he'd be lucky to be at Bromley. They're a fucking good side, mate, now. They're in League 2. Yeah. Half Millwall's old squad are going up again.
And then you, Seb Drodds, I don't understand, and George Walker, I don't understand. What I don't understand more, though, is if nothing big is happening, why haven't we sold them? Why have we just let these players go? Because, you know, the under-21 season is going to happen again. They're going to want to keep improving. I know you're not going to get a lot of dough for them, you know, but Nana Boateng never got a chance, like you say, against Crystal Palace. I actually thought he looked all right.
He was,
and he looked better than the likes of Alafe.
I mean, look at Alafe now. We fucking didn't really give him a crack, did we? He actually got more of a chance than a lot of them. Yeah. And he's fucking banging 20-odd goals for Stockport, got back-to-back promotions.
Exactly. And then I think what you'll probably find is people like Nana Boateng will probably do similar things.
Yeah. I mean, Jack, I'm telling you now, that George Walker's fucking captain, pacey but good defender, likes to get forward. That's probably why he got rid of him. He likes to get forward. Don't cross the halfway line, George. But yeah, it's just a weird one. I mean, I know these players have gone on, like George Alexander's playing for like Eastbourne Borough now, or something like that.
Slough now, isn't he? He's a
Slough or something like that. Is he? Good. So I was waiting for Joe reacting in case
I love that.
Hey, Big Brent, yeah.
Didcot.
Winnersh. Tap plug. Sorry, if you're not an Office fan, you've got no idea what we're talking about. Me and Joe are constantly at it. But yeah, they've gone, right? So this is the fucking hell. Yeah, this is the big point now we get onto. This is. I might have to take a couple of fucking logo out. You can see this. This is a. So apologies for any spelling errors or anything like that, but I didn't do this earlier. I'm going to have to take the logo off the screen here. Hang on. This is, as I understand it, Millwall's current list of players for next season. We'll start with the goalkeepers, boys. We'll go through each section and everyone can have their say, yeah? So our goalkeepers are Matija Sarkic, Connell Truman, and I've put that Ethan Waddy in there. Connell Truman spelled RYANSANDFORD. Ryan Sanford. What do we think, boys? Goalkeeper-wise, can we all agree we need a new goalkeeper?
Yeah, 100%.
Now, okay, while we're on that subject, let's venture off it then, just quickly, because I put a video up today. He's a keeper. I actually ended up calling it Keepers, but I couldn't bother to change the graphic. This guy been linked with Neil Etheridge on the right. He's just come out of contract with Birmingham, 34, right? And the geezer on the left is, Joe something. I can't think of his name now. Anyway, when I broke the news about Neil Etheridge, people said, why do you want a goalkeeper? He's too fucking old. You might as well keep Bart. Do you think we need someone to compete with Sarkic for the number 1 shirt? Or do you think, would you be happy, especially bearing in mind our budget, you'd be happy with just a backup keeper, Peter, more experienced keeper, like a new Bart? Some people did say, why the fuck didn't you keep Bart then?
I'll tell you, goalkeeper's not my strongest point. Bart was gone. We know Bart was gone. But 34 years old goalkeeper ain't old for a goalkeeper these days, is it? Yeah?
No.
So yeah, we definitely got to get another keeper. That's 100%. We have to. Who it is, I don't know. But yeah, Bart was gone, so we had to get him. We need to get in high caliber replacement as well.
Would you like to see someone, young coming in who can compete with Sarkic, or are you happy with Sarkic and you'd be happy with an experienced backup?
I'm not really happy with Sarkic, to be honest with you.
No, I put a video out today on it.
Yeah, I thought he come into his own the last 4 or 5 games. But he wasn't really tested that much because of how well our defence played. Yeah. Our defence the last 4 or 5 games was immense. I don't think he hardly got a touch of the ball because that's how good the defence was. So he wasn't really tested.
He made an unbelievable save at Huddersfield, by the way. It's fucking right behind it. It's unbelievable. And other points, there were Rotherham goals he let in. He just lets in some soft ones, but he's getting better. And then maybe he had his injury problems to start with. I really want him, believe it or not, I really want him to do really well. I don't like moaning about our goalkeepers.
I want him to do really, of course.
It's not good for business.
I want every Millwall player to do well, of course. I do. You know what I mean? But I don't know. The problem I find these days with keepers, they can't catch a ball like the old.
They're not goalkeepers, are they? They all play with their feet, but they can't fucking be in goal.
To catch the ball, and then when the ball comes in the air, they're punching it out rather than catching it. And I think with Sarkic like Bart, we're never great at commanding their area when it comes to corners. I don't think, Bart was a great shot stopper, but for me, he stayed on his line too much when it comes to corners. But you can't have the best of both. Well, can you have the best of both worlds? Keeping the York Cup crosses and a great shot stopper. That's what you want, really.
Michael Eastman says they're good penalty save. Yeah, last at Swansea, good penalty save. Ken?
Yeah, well, I like Sarkic. I think that he's grown this season, and I think it's no different to the situation. I think that he was a bit dodgy, maybe to start off, but he hadn't played either. You've got to remember this. This was his first season in pretty much professional football. It would have been his first season he's ever had. And I think he grew in confidence, and I think he made vital saves. Neil Everidge, I don't really like Neil Everidge. I remember the days when he was at Walsall and places like that. He used to wind me up. But as far as a goalkeeper's concerned, he actually is a really good keeper.
A lot of people have said that. I don't know a lot about him, so I laughed there because it don't say a lot to wind you up.
But I think, I'm sure there's probably like a Neil Everidge YouTube clip. He's a good keeper, or he was a good keeper. And I think, to be honest, he'd probably keep Sarkic on his toes. So although people are saying, he's 34 years old, I think he'll keep Sarkic on his toes. I really do.
Well, with Andy Marshall before as well, apparently. While I was at Birmingham.
He was at Cardiff, wasn't he, with Harris, I think.
Yeah, and then, with Andy Marshall recently at Birmingham. Obviously, brought Connell Truman in. It's not even worth talking about that guy, is he? Just fucking stands in the background, giving it that as he walks into the dressing room every week.
He's always at the forefront.
Me and Henry crack up. So just like the teams have arrived on Instagram, and the players will walk through the wash bags and go all right, mate.
He's always
Connell Truman's like that. Coming down like Conor McGregor, like giving it all.
I remember the first time I see him on one of those videos, I thought, who the hell is that guy that's always in at the forefront of it? Yeah.
Jesus on $5,000 a week, living the dream.
Oh, mate, honestly, Sarkic has grown on me. Jakey says, I couldn't agree more. He has grown on me. What I liked about him was that Huddersfield game, we were shit, but he stood up to be counted. Like when it really mattered. I know he let one in, but he fucking done everything he could in that second half. And what else I liked, where was the game? Who was it? It was an away game. And it's fucking gone off in the corner. I think with Brian Leonard and Sarkic was fucking straight over there, like trying to get involved.
Yeah. I think
go on, Joe. Sorry, yeah, be sure you
Will
was
Frozen.
you can clip this in case it goes horribly wrong next season. But I think he's going to come on and be really good next season. I call this season. He was in and out, wasn't he? He had that injury, and what did we spend? Did we spend 1 or 2 million on him?
One-ish, I think. Yeah, maybe
for us to spend that on a keeper, he's not really going to be a backup keeper, isn't he? So he's here to stay as first choice. And I call this sort of a warm-up season for him. I feel like he has grown. I weren't a massive fan at the start, but I think he really has grown as the season's gone on. And in all honesty, in my opinion, I think he's just going to get better, and we'll see a good season from him next year. So I'm happy with the thought of getting an experienced keeper in as backup. I don't think we really need. We've got major worries there. Can't lie, I don't know much about those other two that you mentioned. No. I've heard Neil Etheridge. I've heard him for a few years, but I've not really seen or watched him much. But I'm happy to get one of them in. Yeah,
I think as well. Like you sort of lost your old man there. Forgot what I was going to say. Oh, our budget. What we got budget. I think the money could be better spent elsewhere. Do you know what I mean? We've got to pay someone's wages to get him in, and we probably might have to buy him if not a free transfer. But I think but budget's going to be big for us this year, and we need to potentially, instead of buying a goalkeeper, use it wisely in other areas. Right. So that's the goalkeeper. So I think we can all agree, yes, we need one goalkeeper there, don't we?
Yeah.
Because Ethan Wadley's not near it. Colin Truman's brilliant on social media clips, but can't play in goal. And Sarkic is going to be the number one. So we need one goalkeeper. Okay. Defenders. Now, there's a lot of defenders there. Let's do it full-backs wise. So Ryan Leonard and Danny Mack, I think they're going to be competing for the right-back slot. So will we agree that there's going to be no other right-backs brought in?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're all right there.
Yeah.
Now, left-backs, this, again, feeds into giving people a chance. Murray Wallace, I wasn't sure what was happening. I thought Murray Wallace may have been out of contract. And people were saying, why have we got rid of Murray Wallace? Well, he's obviously still under contract. So I would have think he's probably got a year left, Murray Wallace, no more. Joe Bryan is a great player at this level. We know that, but he clearly got something wrong with him injury-wise because he can only play like 1 in every or 2 in every 5 games or something. There's obviously something there, underlying issues. His age, obviously, but great player. So we've got Nino Adam Malaki, right? Nino Adam Malaki has been out on loan at Sutton. They actually got relegated under Steve Morrison, but they had a right good go from when Morrison took over. They was well adrift and nearly clawed it back. And I'm gutted because international break, I was sitting there and I thought, I'm going to go to watch a game today. Sure, I go to, it was Maidstone against someone else, Dartford against someone else, or Sutton. And I thought, I might go Sutton. And then I thought, am I going to drive all the way to Sutton on my own? By the time I got myself sorted, I'd left it a bit late, but I wish I'd have gone because he got man of the match, he scored a worldie. So left backs, boys. I mean, where do you all stand on our left backs? So our right backs are covered. And I don't think we're going to add to that. Can anyone see us adding a left back?
I think we need another one. Definitely.
Do you think we need another left back?
Yeah. I think it would be good to have. I know McNamara's done a job in there, but...
Well, yeah, with him as cover, you'll have 4 left backs. So go on.
Wait, who's the other one? I've kind of just brushed a lot of them off. Murray Wallace, I think his days are done for us.
Yeah, he's going to be a backup squad player, isn't he?
Yeah, so I think if Joe Bryan was fit, we know he's a good player. He would be my starting left back. I know McNamara can cover there, but say something goes wrong there, I do think we need one more left back. And I'd go as far as saying possibly, say Tanganga gets over the line, I'd say we still need one more centre back.
Yeah, Alex Mitchell. Now, I think you'll see us probably sell Alex Mitchell, I would have thought.
Yeah, I can't see him featuring.
Right? And the other annoying thing there in that back line is I think they'll end up loaning back out Nino Adam Malaki. And I think what you just said is going to be spot on. I think Joe Bryan will be first choice left back. When he constantly gets injured, they'll probably put Danny Mack in.
Someone else.
And in worst case, they'll put Murray Wallace there. But I don't think this feeds into what I was saying about my frustrations with the academy, etc. I don't think Adam Malaki or Alex Mitchell will get an opportunity this year.
Nah.
But I agree with you, Joe. Even with Jake Cooper and Wes Harding And even if you kept Alex Mitchell, I still think you need another 2 centre backs. As one Tanganga and then another.
Yeah,
Ken,
100%.
Pete, defenders wise, how you think? I'll say I think we need 2 more centre backs.
Yeah.
I agree. Is that with Tanganga?
No, including Tanganga, then one more.
Yeah. I agree. I would probably say that you'd have Ryan Leonard as right back, Danny McNamara as cover. You'd have Joe Bryan as left back with Malaki as cover. That's what I would do.
Oh, that's what I do 100%, but I think they'll load him out.
No, I agree. I think you'd have Murray Wallace as a cover for centre back. Alex Mitchell, I think you're right, should be sold. I think it's completely unjust. He's never going to get into the first team.
Yeah, I don't think he should be sold for his own good. Do you know what I mean? He's been on about 19. He's had more loans than fucking more clubs than Sevi Ballesteros. What about Harding? Big Wes Harding as well. He's sort of a forgotten man, isn't he?
I quite liked him, but it's just obvious that Harris don't want him, does he?
No, but seems so.
Playing under Harris.
I'd rather have Wes Harding centre back with Tanganga than what I would Jake Cooper.
No.
Yeah.
Madman.
No. Jake Cooper's so bad, Dan. Bad.
He's all right. He's been very good for us. People saying Nino is mustard. Nino. But he won't get the chance, unfortunately. That's how we roll at Mill Football Club, and neither will Alex Mitchell. So, I mean, Alex Mitchell, I can tell you, he's the same age as Billy Mitchell. So, what is he now? 22, Alex Mitchell?
Yeah,
he went from the 21s. He pretty much bypassed. It was 18s. He pretty much bypassed the 21s. Only played about 10 times. Got put straight in the first team. Scored in pre-season against Arsenal. He's been on loan at Bromley, St Johnstone, Lincoln. He even said when he done his interview, he's like, "Fucking." They give him a new contract, loaned him out the next day. I went, I really hope this is my final loan. I think it could be how unfortunately makes. I think he might be leaving the club permanently. It wouldn't surprise me. But what's happening? Oh, Pete's on the move.
Go on.
So we need a new goalkeeper. I would say we need 2 more centre backs. Boys, what you saying? Just numbers wise.
Yeah, no, I'd agree.
Huh?
2 centre backs plus Tanganga.
We need 3 centre backs. Well, if Alex Mitchell leaves, you're right. We probably will.
Yeah.
Right, moving into the midfield. We've got 3, I would say. I wouldn't count Honeyman as he is a centre midfielder, but not for us, he isn't. So we've got 3 centre midfielders: George Saville, Billy Mitchell, Casper Denor. This could get messy.
Whoa,
Who wants
really
to open it up?
Confuses me.
What?
That's what really thrown me off the midfield.
I would basically I would really start again. I'd get 3 new midfielders if I could. Because I don't think any of them. How can I put it? When you look at the likes of I know we ain't a Leeds and we ain't a Burnley or a Leicester or an Ipswich, but when you want to get somewhere in this league, you've got to have midfield with legs on them. Yeah, attacking midfield. If you watch the game even watch the playoffs the other night when Leeds were playing Norwich, they had at one stage they had 8 players forward in their own half, pushing on that Norwich defence. We've always had defensive-minded midfielders.
I would say all 3 of those players have all got legs, but I was just
no.
When you legs, you're thinking about.
You will never see Saville running into the box these days.
But
you'll never see Billy Mitchell running into the box.
But I think that's tactics. We don't play like Leeds. Leeds play all that attack. I think when you say legs, I'm taking that as they can get about the pitch and put loads of energy into it.
Mm. No, I reckon they're all right running around the middle of the pitch, but they're not box-to-box midfielders like some of these athletes you see in the higher end of the championship. Like athletes, proper. When you look at these players, they're athletes like I know they've got money like the Leeds and the Leicesters, but our players ain't athletic enough as far as I'm concerned. You've got Denore, you've got Mitchell, and you've got Saville, all to the same.
Just float about, don't they?
Float about the same sort of player, if you know what I'm saying. They're all sidewards, defensive-minded. They're not attack-minded midfielders. And when you see, like we talked about Trotter earlier on, he would pick the ball up in his own half and run forward with it and run into the opponent's half. Our midfielders don't do it. They don't do it. They're so far. They're great players. They're Millwall-type players, but they're not these flair-type players I would like to see, go box to box. And that's where you get your goals from. The midfielders coming in late, as proved with Denore in that last game against Swansea.
Well, I've never been Denore's biggest fan, and I think that people think he's a lot better than he is. But I will say, for the last 2 games he played under Harris, I thought he was very good in the second half against Plymouth. And he got down, he was getting forward, he was getting down the right, and he actually put the cross in for Watmore that he just stabbed over the bar, and he put the cross in for Bradshaw that he hit the front post and the goalkeeper saved it. And then he scored in his second game. So he obviously in the final day of the season. So he's had to bide his time. Maybe that was a little bit of extra effort through frustration, but I wasn't impressed with him last couple of games.
Yeah. I think that Denore is going to be one of them. It's his first year. He's had to adapt.
Yeah,
and I think
he'll push on
better of him next year because he's adapted to, it's a bit of a time to adapt to this league, and I think he'll be much better next year.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing.
We all massively underestimate, like we've been saying it all through the show about lots of different players, a run of games, injury-free and a bit of confidence, what it can put a player from there to there. Do you know what I mean? It can make such a big difference when they're settled in and everything going right for them. Boys, central midfielders, Kenny, Joe?
I think that if you, I think I said this in the WhatsApp group, I don't think the likes of George Honeyman, Billy Mitchell, George Saville would get into hardly any of the other championship sides. But I think that Casper Denore would get into every single one. Now, if you had Casper Denore as a holding, and then you had, like Pete said, that flair or that excitement, that speed, that ability in front of them, then I think that the midfield would work. The combination of George Honeyman, Saville, and Billy Mitchell work very well for a Millwall team.
Well, I was going to say, look, Billy Mitchell and George Saville played pretty much all of those together.
Yeah.
And that's where it got us. But I do get what you're saying.
But as far as, going that level above, I think we need more. And just for the record, I like George Saville. I like Billy Mitchell. I like George Honeyman. But if we're talking about getting a level above, then we need players that are a level above. But I think Casper Denore is a level above.
I think, again, look, maybe I've done him a disjustice. Like Joe said, it's his first season, settling in. Fuck me, he's had 3 managers already.
Yeah,
I mean, that's fucking
easy.
He's probably new country, settling in. So, like Kenny said, like last year, don't expect anything from Flemming for 2 seasons, and we got fucking the best of him in 1. Could work like that with Denore, couldn't it? It could be, the longer he's here, the more he buys into it, and he's been in and out of the team. As I said, 3 different managers. It's probably not been an easy transition for him, is it?
I think if he was to, as you've said, just get a run of games starting, I think he really will improve. And like I said with Sarkic as well, I think, but that's the thing. You don't know if he's a Harris type player, whether I'm thinking what Harris is going to do, whether he's going to start him. But I do believe with Denore, if he had that long run, starting, playing more games, he could push on next season.
Well, I'm going to do something in a minute where I'm going to ask you, once we've covered everything, I'm going to ask you all to name a team from the players we've got, what you'd start with next season, but we won't get onto that just yet. But I would say, Saville's, for me, I think it will be Saville and Mitchell again next season, but I think you'll see Denore alternating with Saville a lot more because he's getting older. I think you'll see Honeyman play wide, SA play wide, Duncan Watmore and Adam Mayer. Yeah, that's the players. The wide players, I would say, out of those 4 are Honeyman, SA, Watmore, and Mayer. But obviously, our formation has changed, hasn't it, since since Harris has taken over, and I think Harris will go to an out-and-out 4-4-2 next year.
Get in.
Get in. A couple of nearly men there for me, and the nearly men are. I mean, George Honeyman, you know what you're getting. You know he's going to work his bollocks off. You know if he gives it away, he's going to break a leg trying to get it back. He's energetic. I think he's got one more year left. But again, I do agree with what Kelly says. You're not going to the next level, George Honeyman. Great for a squad player. Great for morale. The two there for me, I mean, Adam Mayer's not got a kick. And again, he wasn't signed by Neil Harris. But going back to Conor Mahoney, was signed by Neil Harris to whip crosses in the box. I think you could potentially see Mayer next season if we get a big striker in.
I would like
but he hasn't kicked a ball really. And again, he's had a difficult one under a new manager. Who then got sacked and he got injured just before the new manager left, the old manager left. So I'd like to see more of him. I hope we don't loan him out. I think it's just a pointless signing otherwise. I'd like to see him get given a chance. But the two for me that are confusing, / I'm not 1,000,000% sure on, even though I said I'd give him the 10 dog, is Romain Esse and Duncan Watmore. What do you think in terms of wide players? Do you think Harris will change it to 4-4-2, sort of doing away with Honeyman maybe and Watmore in that way? Or do you think we need better wide men?
Yeah, definitely play with wingers. I think personally, and I don't think we've got any decent wingers there.
We ain't not in that list there. Out and out wingers. We are quite short of them.
I look at that squad, right? I'm looking at that squad, and not one of that squad will get in the top 5 or 6 teams in the championships team. There's not one player there worth over $500,000.
Scares the life out of you, doesn't it?
But does at the same time tell you what a fucking job the Harris has done?
They might get the acute Queen Park Rangers team, but they won't on maybe the Cardiff. But the rest of that squad are not worth. Not one of them is worth over £500,000.
It just echoes what a great job Harris has done, though, doesn't it?
Yes, we've got to. But that's what it is. We've got a togetherness with the squad, make it work together. Like the Greece Euro that won the Euros that time. It's a togetherness, a unit that got us where we were. Work ethic. Do you know what I mean? But we're not going to have that flamboyancy with these other teams going forward, which is going to be middle of the road. I'm not complaining. I'm glad we stayed over the moon. We stayed in the championship. That is because we had that Millwall togetherness.
It looked like a good team spirit as well. I watched that video where they're all in the changing room on the last game, and you could see there's a bit of togetherness there and team spirit, and that can take you far.
People say in the comments we've got no decent wingers. He's in a pitch with someone else because I meant to bring up earlier. People keep saying in the comments, so I forgot to bring him up. Ryan Longman. Tanganga. No, Ryan Longman.
On the wing.
On the wing. I did plan to do a video on this, and then all the other stuff happened while I was down with Mum and Dad's. Then I went on holiday. So I've still got a Ryan Longman video to shoot and put out there. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow. But Ryan Longman, I mean, I don't think at any point any of us can deny we said he's brilliant, shit, or we're not sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Mate, I could, but honestly, again, a run of games, a bit of confidence, a new manager.
Yeah. I like Longman. I like him a lot.
He was getting absolute pelters until that Leicester game, and then everyone's going, he's unbelievable. What a player. We've got to bring him back.
No, I've always liked him. There's something about him when he picked the ball. He's always going to cut in, don't you? He's looking for that shot. I love him. I think he's a great player. I'd love to sign him on a permanent.
I think we will. Harris seems to really like him, and he seems like a Neil Harris sort of style player. So if we're going to have a winger, I think he's a realistic signing. I think we'll see us definitely go back in for him. I think it'll be here next season.
Hopefully.
I went to do the video, and the reason I didn't, I said, was a little bit time-based, but also what happened is that fucking now CEO and head of recruitment left, and then the next day, Liam Rossini, it's Liam Rossini, isn't it? Yeah. He got sacked. By Hull after taking him from literally down the bottom 2 years ago to just outside the playoffs, made loads of good signings, great manager. He's got sacked by their billionaire owner. Now that tells me that George, Fucking so many names in my head. Ryan Longman. He's definitely going to be available because I think they've sacked Liam Rossini because they want to get in a big name manager and go big with their budget. When I was in Turkey last week, some bloke said to me, "Oh, what football team you support?" I said, "Millwall." He said, "Oh, Championship." I said, "Yeah." He said, "Put your money next year, Hull, to go up." Because they've got Turkish owner, haven't they? Massive Turkish football. There was a section when we went to the away game, all waving Turkish flags. So they've got big ambition, and I think, no disrespect to Longman, who's from like Red Hill as well, in like down near Gatwick, isn't it? He wants to come back. They're not going to want him because I think they'll be bringing in all sorts of expensive players. So I think he'll come back. Ken, what's your thoughts on Ryan George, Henry Longman, whatever his name is?
I think that Longman done well for us, but I think if we get Longman, we'd get him because he's the cheap option. I think that there'd be better wingers out there. Like I don't think he was as direct as what people think, or put as many crosses into the box as people think. And he scored a great goal against Leicester. But does he have the pace to take someone on, get down the line, and put a ball in? I don't think personally I saw that out of him. But I wouldn't mind having him if he's only going to cost 300 grand, I wouldn't mind having him in the squad or in the team. But I just think there's better options out there for a winger, in my opinion.
Boys, anyone else?
I think, he was a bit hit and miss earlier in the season. Like I think he didn't have a bad. I quite liked him at the start, and then he seemed to tail off a bit. Got some pelters, and then I think we see the best of him under Harris. So I'm just thinking like a realistic signing, what I think will or could happen, because Harris clearly likes him. And I think we see the best of him under Harris. So I just think it's a go, to be honest. I'd be happy with that.
Yeah, I think I'm the opposite, Kenny. I think he got more crosses in than people give him credit for, and he got so much abuse.
I thought that. Yeah,
he got so much abuse for so long. At one point, I did a video, but I did videos where I'm like, he's really good. The first game, he come off the bench at Birmingham away, and he looked really good with both feet. And Mark Beard used to be his manager in the Brighton youth team. Mark Beard said he's a fucking great footballer, but he was unlucky. He played fucking left back, right mid, left mid. He didn't play up front, which wasn't his fault. Eventually, when he got his settled position, I remember saying in the video, he scored 2 in 2, and then someone put in the comments, or 2 in 3. Someone put, how's he scored 2 goals in 3 games then? And I went, well, he scored against so-and-so and scored against so-and-so. And they went, oh, right, I didn't even realise. But I remember one of the just before he scored against Leicester in the first half, he was running through, and he took it a bit wide, he didn't shoot, he cut back in, and people going, fuck off back to Hull, Longman, you're fucking useless.
I remember.
Blah, blah, blah. And then he scores in the second half, everyone's going, what a player, but you're on him. Bear in mind as well, he's 23 years old. I'm just looking on it now on the transfer market, right? And he played 35 times last season. Bear in mind, some of them would have been off the bench. Didn't play 35 times for us, surely not. 3 goals, 3 assists. Goals of Rotherham at home. I'm just remembering that. Rotherham away, and Leicester, of course. It says he went from Brighton to Hull for £800,000. So you definitely get him at a cut price. Although they're currently valuing him at 2 million. I can't see that's right, to be honest with you. Sorry, Ryan. I do think you're a good player. But Pete, Ryan Longman.
Yes, I like him. I like him a lot. I'd like to sign him. The Adam guy as well. We don't really know what he's all about, do we? Can't think of his second name.
Adam Mayer,
yeah. I don't know about him, but definitely Ryan Longman and another. I'd agree, another winger. But I do like him. I'll definitely sign him.
Sorry, Henry just sent me something on Millwall, so it's just a clip of an old video. I thought it might be transfer news. Right, so boys, if you had to put a team together for next season to start right now. Oh, hang on, we haven't done the strikers. Fuck me, sorry. We still want to keep going, boys, yeah?
Yeah.
Strikers currently at the club: Tom Bradshaw, Ida Moamaku, Kevin Nisbet. and Zian Flemming. I mean, I think Pete said everything for everyone on Zian Flemming. The other three, I did see the other day on that on a Patreon that I paid for that Ilamo Maku could potentially go out on loan.
No.
Again, why?
No,
but where do we stand on the strikers, boys? And I think it sort of rests heavily on what formation we think Harris will play.
Need one more.
Bear in mind, well, as it stands right now, so let's not say that anyone's gone out or anyone's come in. You reckon we want one more, Joe, yeah?
Yeah, one more.
Ken? You don't have to answer it.
I love Tom Bradshaw, but he can't be your main. You need a main striker.
Yeah.
I thought it would be Nisbet.
Nah, listen, this is me and the O'Maras don't get on at all on this subject, but I don't think Nisbet's very good. I think he's really bad. Zian Flemming can fuck off to whatever club he wants if they're offering $5 million. Imaku hasn't had a chance yet, really. I don't think so. So that lead that you need. I think you need two strikers.
I think you need.
Yeah, I agree.
Possibly, yeah, two. Yeah.
I would actually get rid of. Well, Fleming's gone, and I'll get rid of. Well, I'm not being funny. I think Tom Bradshaw should go. Right? How many goals did Tom Bradshaw get last season?
6, I think. But he had injuries. He wasn't
there
getting.
You go. He's injury.
He weren't getting in the teams at some point as well.
He's injury prone, and 6 goals at return to striker was appalling.
What I will say for Bradshaw is, and I don't like to say this, his all-round game to link other players in and play how we want to play is brilliant. Kevin Nisbet for me. I watched Kevin Nisbet in the 21s the other week. He don't move. But I don't think that. I think it's because I think that injury's still getting him. I don't think he can get around. I think he's trying to manage it.
I still think there's a player in there somewhere that will come on to be good for us eventually. And I think if he stays fit, especially working under Harris, who's a striker, I think he'll get even better. So I think Harris could be at the forefront next season, Nisbet.
I think Harris needs to try and make good of what he's got with those two, and it wouldn't surprise me if he did. But again, again,
it depends on the formation that he's going to go with, because for me, Bradshaw has always been better in a 2, right? When you're playing him up top on his own, he looks quite isolated. He's having to do so much work on his own. You look at the times when he played with Afobe, didn't he? When we had, I know Afobe had his critics, but I quite liked him. When you had Bradshaw and Afobe up top together, they worked so well. You look at even when he was at Barnsley before, he was playing him and Kiefer Moore, and he was banging them in. He works better as a 2, but I just don't know. I can't see what's going to happen there.
See, I agree here. What John Sinclair said. He greeted his John over there. Yeah. He is a good finisher, right? I agree with that. He scored a good goal for the 21s. However, I think you could put him in the bracket of he will be a really good player up front for like someone like, I don't know, good, that you get loads of chances created for you. Because he can finish, but he can't fucking move, and you ain't getting loads of chances as a Millwall striker. You need to create yourself. You need to do a lot of your own work. But yeah, he's not for me. I don't think. I wouldn't surprise me if he left in the summer, to be honest with you.
I think if you got yourself a big, there's no two ways about Harris. Would definitely go in and get yourself a big striker. I think. Yeah. Especially if he's playing
Dykes.
Yeah, someone like that, honestly, and I think that you might actually see a lot more of Imaku if that's the case.
Your mate's coming. I'm 100% sure of it, Joe.
Well,
the Ipswich striker on loan from
Kiefer.
Yeah, he won't be playing in the Premier League for Ipswich, so he'd be available.
I refuse to do any more videos on Kiefer Moore or Jamal Lowe potentially joining.
Jamal Lowe's coming in, mate. I'm telling you.
No. I'll tell you who was good, talking about QPR, the other guy up front from the big one.
Oh, Sinclair Armstrong.
He's big and powerful, mate. He's saying that we could do with someone like him. But I think it rests heavily on, like I said, what formation will be played. Because I do think as well, when we play these 2 wide wingers, I think it's a bit pick a mix. You know, George Honeyman don't really play there. I don't think SA plays there. And we sort of patch it together. I think if you went to a 4-4-2, you'd get rid of those sort of, you know, patchy positions that don't really work for us. I still think we need 2 strikers. I'd love to see Amaku get more of a run, but I don't think it'll happen again. I'd like to get a run down the middle because if you remember, Preston away actually got man of the match, started up front. He got man of the match, didn't he?
Exactly what I was going to say.
He was brilliant.
But
he actually tore him a new arsehole.
In the middle on his own, wasn't he? I do believe we have to see more of him. I'd be gutted if they send him out on loan. Because
it'll be him, Alex Mitchell, Adam Malaki. You'd hardly see any of them. Which I don't mind if we're going to buy 5 players for £20 million in total. But we won't. And he'll patch it up again with Honeyman and Nisbet and blah, blah, blah.
Longman up top again.
Longman into Sarkic if he's injured. Right. So as it stands, fucking hell, it don't look good, is it? Because you've got to put a team together there. With no Tanganga, you can't factor him in because he's not there. So if you had to put a team together for the opening day of the season, and the season started tomorrow, I'll do mine first. If you boys want to quickly write yours down, I haven't, but I'll just go off the cuff. Or just get it in your heads. Do you know what I mean? So I don't put you on the spot. So if Millwall's opening game of the season was tomorrow, yeah, this is the pick. This is the starting 11 that I would pick. Fuck me, it's not going to be easy. Right, I will put Sarkic in goal, obviously. I would go Danny McNamara right back. I will put Ryan Leonard and Jake Cooper as centre-backs. I'll have Joe Bryan as left-back. I'll have George Saville and Billy Mitchell as central midfielders. I'd put Romain Esse in a 10. Right? And on the wings, I'd have Amaku and Watmore with Bradshaw up front. Bit controversial leaving Flemming out, but that's what I think I'd do. But then I'm factoring in thinking he's going to leave, really. So, yeah, Sarkic in goal. Leonard centre-back with Cooper because there's no Tanganga yet. McNamara right, Joe Bryan left. Saville and Mitchell centre-mids with Romain Esse in a 10. Watmore wide one side. And Maku wide the other, and Bradshaw up front. It's very attacking, but fuck it. Some people are writing it down here. Look, Pete's got the bins on. Can we put it back on the screen, Pete? Sorry, mate, go on.
Yeah, go on.
What is it? Well, I would go Sarkic in goal. Centre halves, Jake Cooper. Oh, bloody hell. Jake Cooper. I'm lost here. It'll have to be Harding, I suppose. Jake Cooper, Harding.
Yeah.
Leonard one side. Joe Bryan on the other side.
Yeah. It's back 4.
Midfielders. The midfielders. George Saville.
Got it.
Casper Denor. And out wide, I would have. I'd have Amaku.
Yeah.
And I'm going to throw Tom Bradshaw and I'll put Nisbet in the middle. I'm going to have 3 up front. And I'll have SA as a 10.
Cool. Okay, so you're saying, I'm with you. So in midfield, you're going Saville and Mitchell. Sorry, you're going Saville and Denor with SA in a 10.
Yeah.
Amaku wide one side.
Yeah.
Bradshaw one, or Nisbet wide the other, and one of the other 2 in the middle.
Yeah.
We have seen that happen quite a lot, actually, haven't before in the past, like strikers getting played wide. All right, nice. Anyone else ready?
Yeah, go on.
Go on, mate.
Quite controversial. Trying to invest the youth a bit.
Yeah, like it.
So I've gone Sarkic in goal. Leonard right back. Cooper and Harding centre backs. Joe Bryan left back.
Yeah.
And then this is where it gets interesting. Denor and Saville in the midfield.
Yeah.
I'd give Mayer a go on is he left wing? I've put it down.
Mayer, yeah. Left wing.
Yep. And Imaku on the right.
Okay.
And then I've gone SA in the 10, just behind Nisbet up top.
Okay. It's not too dissimilar to mine. A couple of different ones. Ken?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at my team. It looks really shit.
Don't pick it then.
I'm going Sarkic in goal, Danny Mac right back, 2 centre backs, Ryan Leonard and Wes Harding. Left back, Malaki.
Right.
And then I'd go right wing, Duncan Watmore. Left wing, Adam Mayer. Casper Dimnor and George Honeyman in the middle. Right. And I'd have Bradshaw and Ameku up front.
Not bad at all, ain't that bad? I mean, look, you can't put what's not there. You can only go. The season won't start tomorrow. I'm just saying, if absolutely did and we didn't get anyone in, we could scrape a side together. And a lot of the players that have done well for Harris this season. But yeah, all right, boys. I might, if you send me your teams, I might actually clip that all up and put it on. Put the question up and let other people have a go on Instagram and Facebook. But that's about it. 2 hours in. This is any other business? I don't think there is. I think we're all done. No, all right. Well, let's do it again sometime.
We won't have nothing to talk about till August now. That's the thing.
Well, you say that. I mean, look how much we've had to talk about there. The stuff that's happened in fucking 2 weeks.
Yeah, but we've done it now, haven't we? At least we can lay on the beach thinking we're still a championship club. That's the main.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well said. That is definitely the fucking.
Yeah. Who's looking forward to Pompey away?
Oh, that'd be a good one.
Pompey away. Do you know what? I was pleased. I was trying to explain to the waiter in this bar. He was like, "What game is on today? What do you want to watch?" And I went, I said, I'm going Oxford versus Bolton. He's like, "Why Oxford versus Bolton?" And I was like, "Well, because look, we've got to go away, and we're here, and Oxford's here, but Bolton's up here." And he was going, "Come on, Oxford! Come on, Oxford!" So I'm pleased they come up because I'm hoping they can be like the new fucking Rotherham.
Have they done the stand yet?
Oh, a couple of people have to stand behind a fucking goal and chuck it back over. I don't know why they haven't done that stand.
Never seen.
It's similar to our ground. Their ground. It's quite similar.
Anyone remember the last time we went there?
John Daly Bavarsson double.
Yeah, that was in the cup, wasn't it?
He was on penalties.
Oh, we lost on penalties,
yeah. That was it.
Fucking like 12-11 or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were there that night, weren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. I went to the league game as well a couple of years before where Aidan O'Brien scored and Morrison scored.
Morrison scored that screamer. Yeah, I was at that one.
That's it.
I remember it. Right, listen, everyone, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Thanks for joining us, my trusty panel.
Just about.
Thanks for all the comments, by the way, lads. Really appreciated.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, sorry if I didn't get through. I'm trying to do graphics and run what we're all doing, so I don't always get through as many comments as I would have liked. But what I do like to see in the comments is they all start talking amongst themselves, which is good. It's what it's there for. If you was trying to comment, you couldn't. It's because you haven't subscribed. I mean, I'm closing in on 23,000 subscribers. We're about 200 away. I'm interviewing Conor Mahoney tomorrow for a Lions Lounge. And I'm after some big names again this summer. And, of course, we'll be covering the Euros when that starts 16th of June.
Where is Conor Mahoney?
Gillingham.
I think who was he? No, he was on loan at Gillingham. He's gone back to Huddersfield now.
Oh, was he? I thought he was.
Yeah, he's only on loan, so he'll probably play there now next year. But I'll ask him tomorrow. Enjoyed that. Yeah, look, if we can get more to talk about, boys, in a couple of weeks, I'm up for doing more. And thanks, everyone, for watching. Please subscribe to Lions TV.
Come on, you Lions.
On you all.